Hello everybody and welcome back to my Space for One playthrough, where last time we went ahead and talked about how the fact that Doodle will be de-opped primarily just for all of his crimes.
Hey, what you doing? Are you being that bastard that hasn't subscribed yet? Well, why don't you join one of us that have subscribed? As well as that, you might as well tune down into the description down below, where I have a new subreddit called r/RealmHQ. Other than that, back to your regularly scheduled program.
Against Skyrim and her people. But also that, that we're working on getting stuff sorted in terms of actually making it so his crime or his punishment isn't as bad, as well as looking into getting myself a jetpack. The other fun part is that we've gone ahead and got that stuff made. I'm looking into the redstone one I was looking at, which again, it requires a lot of these guys, but I don't think it's as many as I was thinking. No, it should be just a bit more. I think this is enough to... Okay, come on. There we go. Okay, and then what we need, because we got that, we go ahead, we place you guys down. We place down the crafting. And then we find some redstone. Wherever I have it. There's some. Okay. Redstone. And now what we can go ahead and do is make you, and then redstone. But yeah, there we go. That'll be good. And then we'll make that in quadrant 5. Though what I'll probably do right now, since we got so much of the osmium stuff, I'll go ahead and make the thing I was needing to make. So again, to make a jetpack, the mechanism jetpack, we of course need steel, which we have some. I'll need to figure out how to actually make that, and then we need osmium and that stuff to be infused. So let me go ahead and make some osmium ingots. Alright, I need you and a bit of redstone. I think it's only... I don't know, because I think... Yeah, so I should probably put 2 of them in. So I don't... No, I don't need a 10. Okay, good. Alright, so there's a basic control circuit. And then the other parts I needed was you to make that. And then, because I got that, it was a tin ingot, which I'll probably have to look into making the actual tin. The tin seed, which is a tier 3. Alright. So, that means we'll need to start actually looking into expanding our farm. There was a reason I was intending on... Hey, come on, clear. It's not one to clear. Clear! Alright, fine. Anyway, there was, yeah, the fact I was wanting to do that. I was also needing to expand upon this. Alright. So let's do this. We're gonna dump a good chunk of our stuff into here. Just for the hell of it. And then what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and start expanding upward in terms of that stuff. I'll need my sword. I don't need you, obviously, or you. I'll need you for tilling. Otherwise, you. See how you're doing. Yeah, you got a good chunk of them actually cooked. Yeah, there's a reason I wanted upgraded furnaces. Alright, so we need mainly two things, or three things. We need essences of wood, we need essences of stone, and then we need essences of dirt. I'll need to expand the dirt. This way I'm not collecting a bunch of seeds I don't need for my inventory. You, I do need your seeds. So I can expand you up to here. Yep. This is the problem with the ADHD, is you get so distracted by such well, it's not that they're not important things, it's that they're things that at the time seem important. I'm about to sneeze. So your mind's just like, alright, I need to get them done, but do I really? But anyway. Yeah, since we're farming again, I might as well keep talking about this channel and stuff like that. I know it's been quite interesting because of the growth of the channel. The fact there's any growth of the channel. Because like I've talked about before, I didn't expect anything to come from this channel. And the fact there is stuff coming from this channel, both in terms of content from me and other stuff, it's kind of nice. It is quite interesting to go ahead and look at it and just be like, yeah, I did a good chunk of that. I can't claim the entire credit. I do have some pals helping me out in terms of other stuff, but nobody's doing anything in terms of the editing or the processing or the uploading. They're helping me out with recording wise, but primarily it is just a one-man stand or one-man show right now. It's a one-man show with guests. That should be a tagline. The one-man show with guests. God, it sounds like I'm just like trying to pitch the next SNL or something. No, late night talk show host. Be like, hey, and tonight's host, it's the Starfighter. The Relmer, as he likes to be called. Now, tell me, Relmer, have you ever had it? Stuff like that. No, wait, I wouldn't. Completely mixed it. Anyway, it's just a fun idea around that stuff. But yeah, it is kind of quite interesting to look at the channel and see how far it's come from not having any views for years to now getting to the point. What was it? On the actual stuff, because again, I was talking about how the fact that the channel had gotten a decent amount of views. The goddamn what was it? The out of context stuff, man, it blew up. But it's especially fun because one of the things that blew up about it, or not even, I don't even know if it, we got apparently finally to 3K views in terms of the channel, which I'm very happy about. And then the other bit was that the channel has accrued a lifetime watch time of 50 hours. Which is incredible. Again, it's just, beforehand, I didn't expect anyone to watch my stuff, and now I can go look at the numbers and be like, no, people have been watching my stuff. People have been interested in watching me, at least listening to me ramble on about the most random of things, but people are at least watching. Which again is quite nice. Of course, I don't know any people outside of the few that I, talked about the channel with. But other than that, these are just people on the internet who are just coming to view my stuff, which, again, is quite the nice thing. But yeah, it's nice. Especially since the stuff I've been playing and stuff like that, of course, isn't the newest thing. I'm not playing, what was it, God of War Ragnarok, or I'm not playing the Cyberpunk stuff, or I'm not playing this or that. I'm playing games which sometimes are years behind in terms of their relevancy. Have you heard of anyone talking about Just Cause 2? Not since Just Cause 4 dropped. People were talking about it with 3, but with 4, everyone dropped off in terms of their interest in the Just Cause series. Well, if we talk about Ni no Kuni, who the hell has been talking about Ni no Kuni outside of some of the stuff, like if it's been ported over to the Switch? Or, because I have not, again, I was really surprised by the fact that the Ni no Kuni 2 was actually positively reviewed, because I saw Jack All for it. It like completely went under my radar, and I will admit it's a really good game. Of course, I'm not too far into it. I'm only like, what? Well, I'm a bit into it. I don't know how far into it. We're like 14 episodes in, roughly 20 or so minutes per video. So, let's see. 20 times 10 is 200. And then plus 80. So 280. It's 120 for 2 hours. So we're close to 5 hours into it. Gotcha. But it's still, like, it's quite insane just to be like, again, this stuff, I've not seen anything about it. Nobody was freaking talking about Metro. They talked about Metro, maybe the first one, when Metro Exodus was coming out. There's not been any new Metro games coming out. There's not been any new Just Cause games coming out. There's not been any talks over, again, Ni no Kuni or stuff like that. And yet, even though I'm sure that, the communities and stuff like that aren't dead, it's still, well, what I'm trying to get at is it's not something that's only getting views because it's trending. Not to say that the videos that do get views during the time they're trending is only because they're relevant. I know there's plenty of, like, videos, I mean, even Minecraft itself, it dropped off the face of relevancy. And then people started playing it again. And people started actually looking into playing it. Yeah, I'm not trying to bash the older games. To be honest, a lot of them are pretty good in terms of things. But it's just more of the idea that I'm not playing games that are likely to get super high in terms of views. I'm not playing a game that's super relevant. So the fact that they're getting views is actually quite nice. Not to mention, some of them I'm actually having quite fun with. I know freaking the Final Fantasy stuff, that was incredibly fun to actually finally beat a Final Fantasy game, let alone one of the most iconic games. I'm sure there's been plenty of people who've beaten all the games I've played. There's been plenty of people who've beaten Minecraft, who've slayed the Ender Dragon, have gone through the each end cities, built entire towers, or played through Final Fantasy VII, getting Yuffie, all the other incredible characters, getting them all maxed out. I mean, there was even that whole guy, what was it? I can't entirely remember what his what the characters' names were, but there was that guy who straight up maxed out Cloud and Barrett in the freaking reactor. It's just, there are plenty of people still playing the games, even to this day. It's just more of, you're not gonna really see people in like a whole, like, what is it? Like on a whole huge scale being like, alright, I'm gonna tune back into this stuff. Some people, they've played Final Fantasy VII and they never really want to look into it again just because they've moved on or it no longer interests them. The new Final Fantasy 14 is way more interesting than Final Fantasy 7, or just nobody wants to watch the Ni no Kuni 2 because everyone remembers the first one and the second one is like its own story, which it is actually. And I don't mean like, oh, it's its own story, it's terrible. No, apparently even the critics are like, yeah, legitimately you could look into the game and play it without playing the first one. Of course, I'm talking about those ones when it's like, freaking Metro. Metro, like I said, I don't think I've seen anyone like, well, no, I've seen, oh, I think it was either Mitten Squad or Nerdbit who had, like, recently, like a year or two ago, played through the Redux, and they were doing the whole like, oh, can you do it with like just the standard stuff, or just challenges and stuff like that. I know there's entire games that get propped up on that stuff. I know there's plenty of times where I'll just tune in to them to watch them play what was it, Fallout's New Vegas, just to watch them do a incredibly stupid run flawlessly, or at least after so many hours of trying. It's incredibly fun to watch them for their how they approach stuff as well as just their personalities. I mean, for crying out loud, fucking Mitten Squad himself is an incredible fucking personality. God. And that's the thing. People do tune in for more. Usually it's the personality in terms of the older stuff. You don't see people who are going to be playing, what was it? If you don't have that interesting of a personality, or at least a shtick, people aren't going to really want to tune in to see you try to beat an old game, which is primarily what I'm getting off at. And I know myself, I'm not a, like, boring person. I know, like, I've had quite the life story, to say the least, and it's still going. I think one of my things is that at the age of 18, I've had more experience than a lot of people my age have had, and yet I still got a life. Of course, I don't mean to at all demean on anything. I know people have it a lot worse, or can have it a lot better and stuff like that. It's just more the thought that out of everything that I could have gone down, I'm actually happy to do what I'm doing right now. I'm working, getting paid and stuff like that, and while I'm doing that, I'm going ahead and recording videos, just having fun, as well as working on my educational stuff so I can actually get into a career if nothing else works out. Just stuff as simple as that. That's the thing. Not everything, like, primarily right now my paths are open. I could go into being an electrician quite easily. Not that it's an easy career to get into. It's more of, I see the path. It's quite reasonable. It's not entirely clear, and I'll have to definitely forge in terms of figuring out what to do. But yeah, and then there's the stuff with this stuff. I could definitely see me doing this still as the way I'm doing it while doing my other stuff. It's definitely hard work and all that stuff, but it's kind of nice to have fun with it. That's the interesting thing. I know if you've ever watched, like, the big creators like Jacksepticeye, Markiplier, stuff like that. I know they had initially done uploads just daily. Of course, right now they're not dependent on views. They have their sponsorships and also their actual merchandise to go ahead and lay back on so they can actually take some time off. And of course, I'm nowhere near. I don't even have a fucking, like. I think I have an idea for if I ever got merch, what it would be. But it just, the idea of it being that. I know, because that's the thing. You go and you look at all these YouTubers. They've been doing it for years. They have now gotten to the point where they can rest on their laurels. They don't have to worry all too much in terms of if some new thing comes rolling out. If YouTube decides, hey, we're no longer going to include people unless they get to a certain point in terms of the creator stuff, or yada yada yada. Just, they don't have to outright worry, but they do tend to actually care about the community. But it's more of the work that still has to be put in. I think that's the more interesting thing about all this stuff. I know for myself, it's kind of hard for me to actually take a compliment. Typically, the easiest way I can follow up stuff is just trying to be humble, which, of course, fucking saying that I try to be humble and that I am either humble or not is the same as being like I'm... God, again, what was that line from the fucking Weird Al song? I'm like 1,000 times more humbler than now. It's just the idea of stating you're humble is in of itself not humble. But it's just the stuff like that. Right now I'm literally just dicking around going ahead and getting farming done in a game that it's all just pixels and stuff like that. All of it. Each individual thing has been coded in and has been like just years of work. Not to mention the people who have put like this little labor of love into this stuff. Go ahead and make it so that people will actually have some more fun. The idea of farming is incredibly like weird stuff. Like I'm able to go ahead and regrow stone. I'm able to regrow iron of all things. Just stuff that isn't in vanilla Minecraft is completely made from somebody else just being like, I'm gonna dick around, I'm gonna make a mod. Makes it so you can regrow diamonds. That also has a massive like hill to climb. Stuff like that. It's just a lot of this stuff you tend to kind of get lost in terms of where you are. And then it can be kind of hard to see how far you've actually come. Again, going off of the whole stupid humbler than thou shit. I have been working my ass off in terms of this stuff. With the whole YouTuber stuff, they've gone ahead and they shrunk back to a video maybe a week, but that's because it's a lot of work to even do this. And that's with a whole team. And I know my editing skills and my editing, like, what I consider to be reasonable in terms of the editing stuff is nowhere near on par with them. I mean, I got entire videos that are just can be considered filler for stupid reasons. But it's just more of the thought behind it. I'm still putting in hours of work. I'm still going ahead and getting videos processed, edited, uploaded, and then all of that. And then I know I've been kind of slacking on the thumbnails and stuff like that, which does suck, but there's also the aspect that I got so many hours of content that have been uploaded and recorded in general. What was it with the ARK stuff? My God, ARK is still going on. I know I screwed up in terms of the upload stuff. I was so fucking tired. If you guys don't know, on the channel, I have been doing, again, basically, I'll have 2 videos go out a day. On day 1, it will be, what is it, Series A with Series B. And then on day 2, Series A will go up again, but Series C will go alongside it. Well, when, just cause, what was it? Basically, one of the episodes, the Ark, the first one, I accidentally uploaded, believing it was supposed to be uploaded. I was like, oh yeah, Ark's supposed to be up now. No, it's not. Basically, Ark is supposed to replace Just Cause 2. Which, as of today, in terms of recording, it has. But, because of that, I put out Ark. And I initially thought, oh fuck, I screwed it up and I put it out on a day that was supposed to be Just Cause 2. No, it was supposed to be Space for 1 of all days. So even I had like completely gotten it wrong. It was like, no, wait, that's not, wait, what happened? Oh, I guess Just Cause 2 won't be interrupted in terms of its ending, but Space for 1 just had one weird day, and then well, yeah, something happened with Space for 1. It turned into Ark for some reason. And then Ark, even though it has an episode out for the series, it doesn't have a supporting episode. Where's the next episode of Ark? But it's like, again, I know I've been getting so tired as of recently, just with all the work I've been having to put into this stuff. And I know it's been a little bit, what is it? It's been taxing just doing all of this stuff. I know I don't have an editor or anything like that. It's not like I could honestly pay an editor. I don't have the money or anything like that. Not to mention, I don't really have an ability to, like, hook up with an editor. Be like, hey, can you help me out with this stuff? Or I'll pay you, or stuff like that. It's just, there's a lot of stuff that I'm having to do on my own. And I am at least enlisting help with some stuff. Again, with this stuff, I've got actual people on who, of course, right now aren't on, but, you know, they got lives. I know I know Doodle, he's got schooling and stuff like that, and so does, Potato. She's got schooling, she's got a lot of other stuff, too. She's got to help out around the farm and stuff like that. Well, yeah, relatively the farm. I mean, they sell eggs and stuff like that, which is fun. But just there's a bunch of stuff with that stuff where we have our own lives. We have everything else going on. But I do appreciate them helping me out and stuff like this. Of course, it doesn't help that I'm not always on or I'm not always available. That tends to be mainly because of work, but sometimes just because it's been just long days. I dare you! That was just my alarm. But, yeah. And if they're watching into this far, I do appreciate you guys for helping me out. I know I'm not going to try to point it out to you guys, because it's a lot better if it comes off as more of, hey, they stumbled onto it, than, hey, go ahead and watch my stuff, I went ahead and shouted you guys out, or something stupid like that. I know I prefer the idea of working in shadows, making it so that if I do end up helping somebody, I'm not looking for their outright approval, just that everything goes fine. It's a lot better that way. Then that way, when they realize they've been helped, it sure as hell doesn't look like you're trying to get attention. It's just, I'm helping you. That's about it. You don't need to thank me. And I know it's better that it doesn't get the recognition. Which sometimes presents some fun stuff where it's like, well, I know I did a lot of shit, But I also shouldn't really try to attempt to get some recognition for it. I can pro pretty fun with that stuff. Oh, shit. You guys need to actually be normal stone. Because I need stairs. Alright. Oh, that's right. You need to be bricks. Which then need to go in the stairs. There we go. So yeah. Alright. And then because we can place you down. You are going to be interesting. You have to go up pretty far. And while the space I gave you is not ample, it will be interesting. You technically can work. Alright, so here's the fun part. This is going to obviously be, like, legitimate floor. I want to turn a majority of the top into actual farmland. Which will be very useful in terms of all this stuff. Alright. Let's go ahead and do all that. Get you to here, and get you to here. All the way over to here. And then, because now we can expand you like that. Alright. So the inner is going to be this. The outer is, of course, going to not be that, but, you know. Alright. And then, because now what I can do is do this. No, you need to, that's why I wanted to do that. Alright. There. And then, of course, we go ahead and do that. I'll need to place down a good chunk of torches. That's gonna have to happen next time. Thank you guys for tuning in, all that jazz and all that. Thank you guys for tuning in and all that jazz. Like, subscribe, comment down below, and I'll see you guys next video. Other than that, have a great day.